Today we're going to be talking more about bravery and having courage. You all remember from last week we talked about what makes somebody brave and what makes somebody have courage. So this week we're going to watch a little PowerPoint slide I put together, and then I'm going to have you guys sit with mom, dad, or an adult and talk about things that might make you afraid. And we're going to make a chart where you track over the next couple weeks you're pushing to fight that fear. So here's an example. I don't like broccoli and I am afraid to try it. So I am going to put that on my chart. It says, I will be brave and try broccoli. So this coming week, my mommy makes broccoli. And guess what? I give it a try. So Wednesday, I tried broccoli for dinner and I ended up liking it. So I'm going to put that on my chart with a star and say, I tried broccoli and I liked it. And then you're going to continue on for the next 2 weeks. So any foods you try, or maybe you want to try riding your bike with no training wheels on it. Whatever it is, put it on your chart and say how you felt and what it made you feel like. So did it make you upset? Did it make you happy? Did it make you sad? Did it make you mad? Whatever it is, put it on your chart. And in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about this and you're going to share with us how you broke through a fear that you might have. So let's watch my PowerPoint slide and then I'll have you sit with your parents or an adult and make your chart. Okay, here we go. All right, so here is my PowerPoint slide on bravery and courage. I know we talked about it last week, but what is your idea of bravery and courage? I know mine is somebody that's brave and has courage is doing something that might be a little scary or they might be a little afraid of. Just like I talked about last week about the roller coaster and how I used to be so afraid of them and I thought I would never get on a roller coaster. But once I built up that courage and did it, I realized I loved it. So think about your idea of what makes you brave and have courage. What are some things that you might be afraid of? How about trying a new food? Everybody always is afraid to try new foods. But the thing is, you have to build your courage up and try things. Because when you do, you might actually like them. And it might end up being your next favorite food. So try something new. I want you guys to do that over the next couple weeks. Try something you don't think you would like. And hey, maybe you'll end up liking it. So how many of us are afraid of the dark? I know when I was little, I used to be afraid of the dark, and I had to have my door cracked and a light on in the hallway, plus a nightlight plugged in my room. But as I got a little older, and I talked about why am I afraid of the dark, I built up that courage and said, you know what? I don't need a nightlight, and you know what? I can close my door when I sleep. Now, it's like nothing. I don't need a nightlight. I like the dark. So build up your courage and try sleeping without a nightlight. You never know, you might not be as scared as you think. So how about riding your bike with no training wheels? How many of us are already riding our bikes with no training wheels? To get there, did you have a little bit of fear that you were going to fall off your bike? Or maybe you did have a couple bad falls. But the thing is, you build that courage and you give it a try. And before you know it, you'll be doing it like you had never even had training wheels to begin with. So have that courage, build it up. Try with no training wheels. So how many of us are afraid of spiders or other insects or animals? I know I do not like spiders. Those are not my thing. And when I see a spider, I tend to run. Same with mice. I'm not a mouse fan either. If I see a mouse, I'm up on the counter. No, not really. But to build up that courage and not being afraid of something, you see that spider, you know, you either can let it outside, wrap it up in a napkin and let it outside so it can go on about its life, or you do what most people do and smush it. So build up your courage and not be so afraid of it, because really, most spiders are not that dangerous. Some are poisonous, so you do have to be careful though. So how many of us are afraid of going to the doctors and getting shots, or going to the dentist and having our teeth cleaned? Sometimes you have that fear of having to have a shot in your arm. But when you build up your courage and say, you know what, it's just a little tiny pinch. It really is not that bad. And after you have a shot, how do you feel? I know after I have a shot, I get so nervous about having it, and I get all worked up and tense, and then after I go, that was it. So, you have to have that courage. That's showing that courage, letting that nurse come at you with the needle and give you that shot. We know that the shots are helping us. So just get that courage up and let them do it. Because afterwards, you're going to go, that was nothing. That little tiny poke was nothing. And now, how many of us are afraid of being alone? Say, in your room at nighttime. I know Aaron is afraid to be in his room at night. Where does he end up? In Mommy and Daddy's bed. But over the next 2 weeks, that's one thing we're going to work on. Aaron's going to sleep in his own bed. How many of us are afraid of storms? I know when I was younger, I used to be afraid of that loud thunder and the lightning. But really, you just have to look at it in a way that it's nature and this is what happens. And when you're inside under your roof, you're in the safest place. If you're outside in a pool, then not so safe. But you're inside, you're enclosed in a building, your house. The lightning and thunder is really not going to bother you. Yes, it's loud and it's bright and it's a little scary, but it's really just nature's way and process. My mom always used to tell me that when it was thunder and then lightning, it was just God playing bowling. So think of it in a way that's fun. All right, and now how many of us are afraid of heights? This goes back to my roller coaster thing. I said, no, that goes way too high. That's way too scary for me. But once I conquered that fear and I just did it, it wasn't that bad. Sometimes we're afraid of driving over a big tall bridge. When we're in the car, we cover our faces because I don't want to look. It's too high. You have to work on building that courage and getting rid of that fear and say, it's just a bridge. We're going to drive over with the car and we're going to be on the other side and it's going to be a wrap. So, how many of us are afraid of meeting new friends or people? I know it's a little intimidating when you have to go in front of a new crowd of friends or people, wherever it is you might be. You get a little nervous and you're always snuggling on to mom or dad or another adult that you're comfortable with. But you have to just come in with a smile and say, hi, nice to meet you. And you'll get the same vibe back from that person. They're going to smile and say, wow, this person's enjoyable. So meeting new friends isn't always that intimidating. How about some of us that are moving into a new house or a new town? You get a little fearful of, leaving the house that you were always in or your town that you were always in with your school and all your friends and whatever it is. Well, it's not the end of the world because throughout your life, you're going to meet people every day of your life, whether you're here or there. So even when you move to a new town, you're going to meet new friends. And you know what? They might end up being more of a best friend than you had at the other town you lived in. So you just have to have that courage. It's not the end of the world. What are some things that you might be afraid of, such as loud sounds and fireworks? Who's afraid of fireworks? I used to be, but then I realized they're so pretty. And if you're staying away from them and staying safe, they're enjoyable, and they're not so scary if you know what to expect. When you know it's going to flash and make colors and make that loud, you know it's coming, then that's showing that you have that courage and you know it's coming and you're being brave and watching and enjoying the show. So how many of us are afraid of roller coasters or any other ride? I know I talked about it last week and I'm going to talk about it more now. I used to be so scared of roller coasters, but you know what? I built that courage and I just look back and go, what the heck was I scared of? That was so much fun. So build that courage, guys. That's the moral of the story. So what are some other things that you might be afraid of? There's Dory and Nemo, such cute little fishies. Are there any other things that you might be afraid of? Is it going up to the upstairs to your bedroom all alone or your playroom? Is it going out in the garage to put the garbage bag in the garbage can? Anything you can think of, whatever it is. We're going to talk about the chart in just a second. I'm going to come off our video and we'll talk some more. All right, so back to our posters. I want you guys to take poster board, a piece of construction paper, even computer paper, whatever it is you have around. I want you to build a chart and at the top put, I will be brave. I want you to think of those 2 to 3 things and write them down on your chart. Put a star with your name. Get creative, color it, whatever you want to do. We're going to make like a calendar type look for the next 2 weeks. So it has Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. With those 2 to 3 things, I want you each day to attempt, even if you don't succeed, attempt it and have that courage to try it. So this week, the next couple weeks, Aaron's going to work on riding his bike with no training wheels and trying new foods. So say I cook broccoli tonight. Aaron doesn't like broccoli, but he's going to have that courage and he's going to take a little bite and see if he likes it. So he would put, I tried broccoli and I liked it, because it could end up being your favorite fruit, like I said. And then every day that he tries to work on riding his bike with no training wheels, we're going to mark it off. And then after the 2 weeks, like I said earlier, we're going to review these charts and we're going to share with everybody just how brave and how much courage we had. Now, if there's something that you don't like, go ahead and put it. Say, I tried riding my bike with no training wheels, but I didn't like it. It made me feel scared. It made me feel nervous. Whatever it is, jot it down on your chart. Or like if you slept with your nightlight off. Say you got through the whole entire night with no nightlight. Let us know how you felt in the morning when you woke up. I slept with no nightlight and I felt happy in the morning. So there's the chart. I hope you guys enjoyed today, and we'll talk more about being brave and having courage next week. Have a good week. Bye.